go, my Lord. Cause it's the truth. Cause it's the truth. Cause it's the truth.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Truth. I'm your host, The Good. I'm just ranting right now. It is 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I am awake. I've been up for a couple hours, actually, so I'm just awake. Just couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep, man. Couldn't sleep. Hope everybody's doing good today on this good Saturday or whatever you want to call it. I know yesterday was Good Friday and all that stuff, so but I hope everybody's doing good. I'm just trying to get myself together. I'm thinking about taking a trip to Texas today, going out of town. It's gonna be a very, very short trip, but I am thinking about going. More than likely, I am gonna go in the next few hours. Just trying to get myself up and moving around, get myself together and everything before I hit the road. It's gonna be about a 9 hour trip, give or take an hour. Excuse me. So I'm um, just thinking about that drive and everything. It's not a hard drive. It's not a bad drive. It's just, eh, just got to do it. So, but like I said, it's gonna be a short trip. I'm not gonna be there very long. But yeah, I'm just ranting today, and like I said, I couldn't sleep. Just had a lot on my mind, like I have been lately. If you haven't heard the episode this Thursday, go back and listen to it. Just kind of gave you a little bit of what was on my mind. So today is no different. Just got a little, almost a little bit more than a little bit, on my mind. So, but one thing that I'm thinking about is, I don't know why this hit me. Apologies. What are apologies? Like, what are they? Um, I mean, I know we know what apologies are. You done something to someone, or you've done something, or someone's done something to you, and they apologize for the wrong that they feel like they've done to you. Key word, key phrase, that they feel like they've done. So it seems like apologies will only, they will be, they're tied to something somebody's done, or they're more tied to what they feel like they have done. If they feel like they haven't done anything wrong, then they're not going to feel like they need to apologize to you, right? And that seems to be the case nowadays with a lot of people. A lot of people just don't know how to apologize. They don't know how to say I'm sorry for something wrong that they did. They'd rather have a prideful thing inside of them. And here's the thing: they can either know they're wrong and still have a prideful thing to try to find everything under the sun to justify them not apologizing for something that they blatantly know that they did, and they know that they were wrong for doing. On the other hand, you have those who just really don't think they did anything wrong to you. It could have been, just how they were brought up, or this could have been things they've gone through in life. They just feel like, hey, I don't think I did anything wrong to you. I was actually, I know why I was thinking about this, because I was looking at a video a little earlier when I woke up this morning. They was talking about George Floyd and the police officer that killed him, and talking about he was on trial and stuff. Now I think there were old videos and everything, but just listen. They even showed some extra footage or some new evidence, and listen to the man. I forgot his name, Shepard something, the police officer, and how it was people. The people that were around witnessing this whole event. And one of the people was a store owner right there, and he was conversating with the police afterwards. George Floyd had already been killed and hauled off, and I say killed and hauled off to the where they took him in the ambulance. I don't know. And the store owner was conversing with the police officer. He's saying like, "Why did you do that? Why'd you have to stay on his neck so long?" All that stuff. And just hearing the police officer's response it was baffling. He was saying things like, "Well, he's a big man. I had to use a lot of force to make sure he wasn't going to jump up off the ground or anything like that. He was a big man. Mind you, the man was in handcuffs. It was like four police officers around that had tasers and all that type of stuff. So if you felt like you were the only one, oh, accident waiting to happen. You felt like you couldn't control him with four of y'all, then that was just crazy. I was a police officer in the military for about 4 years, and we had these rules of engagement. And I know every police, squadron or station, wherever in any city, they have rules of engagement. Now they may all differ slightly in all areas, different areas, but they're pretty much the same. You use the the amount of force that's needed to stop the person from doing that action. That doesn't, and you have levels to it, correct? You don't start, and if the situation escalates, you escalate with the situation. But the police officer's whole job is to de-escalate the situation. You don't come in automatically on level 10 when that person's on level 2. You understand what I'm saying? Then you be in the wrong. So George Floyd was already in handcuffs. It was four police officers around. There was a lot of people around. He didn't have to restrain him on the ground like that. You get up, you put the handcuffs on him. You can sit him up, sit him in the car, the police car or whatever, sit him on the side of the curb, talk to him, whatever the case may have been. You know, but that was excessive force. Like I said, and if he did get rowdy or something, then you jump it up a level. Obviously the handcuffs wasn't working. He's still trying to resist or whatever. He's trying to hurt or run off or whatever the case may be. And so now, I mean, you have y'all can go, now two of y'all can just, grab a hold of him, restrain him or something, but it's not to be just holding him there. I know where I currently work, we have quote unquote rules of engagement, or I forgot the actual term for it. But when we have the right, we can restrain a client if they get rowdy. If they try to harm themselves, harm others, or property destruction, and we have rules to it. You can't hold a client down for you're going to restrain them until they're calm, and then then you have to wait to so many minutes of calmness before you let them up, right? But that's not up for debate. If they're calm for this long, you have to let them up. It's not up for debate. Well, it's not. You can't be like, well, I don't think they're calm yet, you know because he's still breathing hard, or I no. If they're calm now, like, I know you're saying what's calm. If they're not doing the action that led you to put them on the floor in the first place, they're not trying to fight, then that's, in that sense, that's the calm. That's calm, correct? Hey, Light Bright, how you doing? What's up, Dan and Joe? How y'all doing? Thanks for coming to the room. So I can't hold a client down, if they're still acting up, I can hold them down as long as until they become calm. Then I can let them up. That's our rules of engagement, I guess, so to speak, in my job. And at police station, like I said, I was a police. We had rules of engagement as well. They had rules of engagement. They started out at level 10 when George Floyd was only at a level, I don't know. It was way lower than what they were saying it was. So um like I said, they had the taser. You take it up a notch. If the handcuff's not working, you're still trying to fight. If you are fighting or resisting anything, then I can go to maybe the taser, for a couple of seconds, and if you comply, then I'm cool. Then I'm good. I go back down. you know, and if you jump back up again, maybe I can tase you again. And if you start getting rowdy and fighting and trying to hurt people, then I can go up a level. And if it gets to the point where I have to pull my weapon, my, you know, my sidearm and put some rounds in you, then that's what I'm going to have to do. But in that case, it wasn't even a tase. It wasn't even a tase moment. It wasn't anything. So why am I saying all this? I said all this to talk about the apology. So I was listening to this police officer's apology. He said something like, well, the guy, he was a big guy, and I needed to make sure he wasn't going to pop up, but he wasn't showing any kind of restraint. He wasn't doing anything. He was just laying there. He was saying, sir, I can't breathe. And we know the story, and I'm not here to talk about that story, but I'm just here to just give you an example of people who don't feel like they were in the wrong when they know they were in the wrong and can't apologize for it. I haven't kept up with the case thus far. I don't know if that officer ever apologized for his actions that day, but I'm assuming he didn't. He didn't. So again, I think apologies are tied to what you believe. If you don't think you did somebody wrong, then maybe you're more than likely not going to apologize. Or if you know you did something wrong, you may have a pride issue and have a problem with apologizing. Like I said, that could just come from your experiences or the way you were taught or raised. But I was taught and raised that if you do something wrong to somebody and you know it and you apologize for it, that's just what I know. I hope y'all feel the same way. How you doing, Light Bright? I see you down here. I'm fine, Light Bright. I just was up early this morning. I'm thinking about taking a trip to Texas in a few hours. I'm just trying to gather myself and get myself together so I can get ready to get up out of here in a few hours. It's gonna be a short trip. I'm not gonna even be there. It's really gonna be a really, really short trip. Like I'm leaving today and I'm gonna be heading back tomorrow. You know, so it's really gonna be a short trip. I hate to take these type of trips, but situation, you know, I'm more than happy to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I like to plan out when I take a trip like this. I like to plan it out and have time to get things together and everything. But due to the current situation, I'm sorry, I'm outside. I apologize. I know that truck was loud, but due to the current situation, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go and take this trip and come back because I got to go to work. I have to be somewhere Monday morning. I'm probably not going to work. I'm not going to make work tomorrow night. I know that, so I'm going to probably call in. But I have to be back because Monday morning I have a very important schedule. I have a scheduled appointment that I really have to be at. So I'm going to be back Monday morning. But apologies. So apologies, are they, you know, what about like a true apology? You know, is it just saying, you know, I'm sorry? Or I don't know. Is it just saying I'm sorry? Like, should it be heartfelt? Should it be meant? Of course it should be meant. And it's kind of sometimes, a lot of times, it may be hard to know if that person. At times, it may be hard to know if that person is really sincere about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, but even if they're sincere or not, it's still up to us whether to still let go of what that person done to us. I believe that's called forgiveness, correct? But that's going to take place before that person even comes to you with the apology. So that's a whole nother topic. And then if you want to get more understanding of that, go and listen to the pod that we did on forgiveness. But I said that, is it heartfelt or does it need to be heartfelt? I said that because I believe if you're truly apologizing to someone, you know, if you're coming to, let's say somebody did something to you, I don't know, a year ago, right? And it's still on your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of let it go, but when you see or hear about this person, it brings back all those feelings, right? Which what we talked about in the forgiveness episode. Let's say this was just eating them up so bad that they had to come to you and say something to you, right? They had to come and apologize and all those things, right? And let's say you act out, you know, let's just say you get irate, and let's say you even may put your hands on that person, right? And I'm not condoning it or anything like that. I'm just saying that's what happens, right? Now, this is just how I feel about it. I could be wrong. I feel like however that person is feeling or go through or portrays at that time should be understood by the person who has done the wrong or the person that's apologizing. I believe that would really show if that person was sincere about their apology. Give it. I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, I mean, if you are really sincere about your apology, and I put my hands on you, or I start yelling at you, or cussing at you, or whatever the case may be, and then you jump back at me for doing what I'm doing, then I don't think the apology was really meant. That's just how I feel, because I think you should truly understand what it did to me, or you should, you came over to apologize, or maybe you just came to, I don't know, save face. It could be that everybody was hounding you about what you did to this person, and you're only coming to apologize to save face. That could be a whole nother scenario. But if it's just you that know you did the wrong, and to the other person knows that you did the wrong to them, and you go on your own accord, on your own, and apologize, and then the person acts out and you don't understand, and then you jump back at them for the way they're acting, I don't think you really meant the apology. That's just my thoughts. That's just what I think about it. I could be wrong. I don't know. But apologies. I know a lot of people who don't ever apologize for anything that they've done. And it could be something totally just wrong in anybody's eyes. Like, you can ask anybody, like, is that wrong to do? It gets you to you may even confuse you, like, did I, let me ask you something. Let me get your, this happened, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about this? Oh, that's messed up. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Yeah, that was wrong. You know. Now, here's the messed up part. A lot of us can't move on until we get an apology. I get that. I guess we need some closure at times. I get that. But here's the messed up part. You may not ever get it. You may not ever hear that person say until your dying day that they're sorry for all the things that they've done to you. Not even one. They may have crossed you multiple times, and they may not apologize for one single thing ever. That's why forgiveness is very important. That's why you have to make it up in your mind to forgive that person, or to let go of what that person did to you, because they might not ever come to fix it with you. Ever. Ever. And that sucks. And y'all could have been longtime friends, and you might want to make amends. You may be missing that person. Like, I miss that person, being around that person. We had some good times, but I can't be around that person because they won't allow me to be around. They won't, this thing that happened won't allow us to be together, because I refuse to be around someone like that, or I refuse to be, but then you have times where the person who was done wrong may actually call up and be like, you know what? Let me just tell you something. I don't like how you treated me, blah, 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 blah. And in a lot of times that may be the best way to go. And I say that because if you do that, here is a couple of things is going to happen. Number one, that person is going to hear you, understand you, and try to fix it right then, make amends, and try to reconcile and all that. On the other hand, that person may be like, look, man, I don't care how you feel. They may even say, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry you feel that way, blah, 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 and not be understanding at all. You understand what I'm saying? Then you'll know for sure where that person stands with you. So, and like I said, it may suck. It may have been a long time friend, but that situation or something like that would truly show you how they will respond in every situation with you. So it's probably best that you found that out early, or eventually found that out about who this person who you were friends with or want to be friends with. Now I probably don't even need to be friends with that person, or even communicate with that person, or even have any kind of close relationship with that person. You know, so that's one way you can handle that. I call them up or try to talk to them. Hey, I don't like how you did this, blah blah. I'm just letting you know how I feel about it. I've done that and got some responses, and I made my decision. You know, that's why a lot of people's circles are really small. I'm pretty sure everybody can. We use the word friends really loosely nowadays. We say everybody we know is our friend. Even if you hung out with them once, oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. That's our friend. And not really know who that person is. You don't really know that person. You know what I'm saying? So we use that term really loosely. It wasn't until I got older to understand, okay, you were just an acquaintance. You were just a friend of a friend, or just someone I knew, who we had similar um, backgrounds, or we have similar taste in things, but that doesn't necessarily make me your friend, or make you my friend, quote unquote. We shared nothing deep together. We shared nothing, you know, worth anything. So we use that. We got to be careful with who we call friend. That's why a lot of people's circles are getting smaller now, and for very good reason. And I'm all for that. My circle is very, very small, very, 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 very small. You know what I'm saying? I think the Bible even says something like that. Be careful with. It says something. I'm paraphrasing. Those who have a big company of friends or something needs to be careful, or something like that. It says something along those lines. It's in Proverbs. It talks about, you have a lot of friends who are around you who are always like hooray and like cheering you on and all these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Many people have made songs about it. You have a lot of friends at this time, but at this time, they're nowhere to be found. Stuff like that. Basically what that proverb was saying. So just saying, just be careful. Know who you're dealing with. Know who's around you, your friends, and things like that. Because everybody's not your friend. Prime example: the prodigal son. When he left his father's house with all his riches, he went out there and started living it up, partying every day. He had money. He was rich. He had money, and all these people were coming around saying his quote unquote friends. And when he lost all his money from spending it so much, just splurging, they were nowhere to be found. Nowhere. That's what it says. It says nobody was around. Not one. It got so bad that where he lost all his money and he got so low and he couldn't find anybody. He didn't have anybody there around. He started working at as like a farmer, I guess. And he was so low, he was eating with the pigs. He was eating food in the pig pen with the pigs, and sleeping outside. He had nowhere to stay or anything like that. Till he wise up, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home to my dad. My dad didn't want me to leave, and when he went home, his dad welcomed him with open arms, and it was a happy ending. So, um, but we gotta be careful with who we call friends and things like that. But kind of was chasing rabbits, but it kind of went along with what I was saying. But apologies, what are they? Are they, you know, a lot of people feel different ways about apologies. Feel a lot of different ways. What's going on down here? What's up, Bright? You said, I see you, Bright. Comment. Let me read some of your comments. See what you got going on down here. You said that, this thing. Oh, exactly. I've been done dirty. Yeah, we've all have. We've all have. You said, I had to learn that not too many other people are genuine and authentic like I am. I got you, and I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And with that being said, there are a lot of genuine people in this world. There are a lot of people who claim they are, but have no, that will not, they just can't show it. So they make you question, are you genuine or not? But I can honestly say I am one of those genuine people. I can honestly say that, even through all of my doings, and I haven't always treated people right. I haven't always treated people right, but deep down, I know that I'm a genuine person. It's only when I've had enough, and you make me feel like I wasn't genuine. You make me feel this way. That's when I act out, and then I look just like you. Not, I look just like you. So, and I had to catch myself, and it's hard, man. It's really really hard. I'm gonna probably do another pod on this, what I'm about to say, but it's really really hard. If you, for those of y'all that listen to me, that know us, what we're about, y'all know that we are, we try to live this life that they call a Christian life. We try to live this life for God. We try to do right. We try to do right by people. We try to speak and live what we speak from God, right? And what's hard is that when we mess up, even if it's one time, if we mess up, everybody's, it's like people are waiting for it so they can say, I knew you were not who you said you were, blah blah blah. And I only know that that's Satan, because that's what he's done plenty of times. But it really hurts, because a lot of those times it will come from people who's close to you, or people you consider to be friends, or people who you love, or consider a loved one or a close one. Prime example, Kirk Franklin. I don't know if you've heard about it, but Kirk Franklin recently he's been in the news because him and his son had a conversation, but they don't let you hear the conversation. They let you hear what Kirk Franklin was doing. And what was he doing? He was cursing, and he was irate, and he was going off on his oldest son. Now, if you know the backstory, his oldest son, he's been having problems with his oldest son. His oldest son has been just doing all types of crazy things. And so Kirk and his wife and his family have been trying to, do therapy and all this type of thing so they can come back together, him and his son. But um, his son's not, not with it. Basically, he's not with it. And so Kirk, he put it on live IG or something, and all that. But all you hear, see, they don't let you hear the whole conversation. They let you hear what Kirk Franklin was doing. And he was cursing out his son. He was going smooth off. And why is that? And why does that even matter? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, it's a big deal because it's Kirk Franklin. And what is Kirk Franklin? He's a gospel singer. He's always proclaiming to be a man of God. But when you see him acting like that, it raises a lot of eyebrows. And what's really crazy is the eyebrows that it raised. I'm looking at the comments. I'm reading comments on, under the video, and you hear a lot of people saying, wow, I can't believe Kirk Franklin said that about his son, and wow, I can't believe this, and wow, I can't believe that. And a lot of these people were like church people, and they were like, we're not supposed to act like that for Kirk and all that. Although that may have been true, but they fail to realize that. See, and that's maybe confusing to a lot of people in the world too, because you have a lot of people who claim to be children of God, but don't really understand it. They think, and then people in the world also, and because of those type of Christians, they give other Christians bad names. They think that we're supposed to be so upright that we're to where we don't do any wrong, like we're just perfect. I've never claimed to be perfect. That's why I'm a Christian, because I'm not perfect. You don't understand what Christianity is. You understand what Jesus' whole purpose was in the first place. It wasn't to come to save the perfect people. It was come to save the sick people. You don't take a well person to the hospital. You take a sick person to the hospital, right? That's what Jesus was saying. I'm coming for you, to help you. And so that's why I am one, because I'm not perfect, if I can say that. So when Kirk Franklin did that, people were bashing him and everything, and some of his own people, and they quickly forget that he's human. He was human. He was someone else before he became a child of God. Like I said, I'm not condoning what he did, but I understand it. My child will not disrespect me, because his son was disrespecting him. His son was he said some crazy, he was laughing at him, and he also had him on a three-way call, and he put him on video, and he recorded the conversation from another phone and put it on IG, Facebook, and all that stuff. Like, come on, man. This is supposed to be a personal conversation we're having. And Kirk Franklin didn't even know he was recording him, because it wasn't a video chat. It was just, he was calling him on the phone, you know what I'm saying, talking to him. But he had it recorded, and it was crazy, man. I was like, man. And look how people would do you, man. Even some of your own people that are supposed to understand and know. So yes, genuine people. Yes, like Bright, you said, as far as friends, on my deepest, darkest moments level, other than my mom and my sister, I have two friends. I get that. I understand that. You said your mom and your sister. That's very cool. I converse with probably my mom and before a few people that I have now that I know I could talk to. It was always my mom, because I know my mom always has my best interest at heart, and even that became a problem. Even me talking to my mom became a problem with other people. And, I started to think too, I was like, why is that a problem? Like, I'm not just out talking to some random Joe Schmo, just a friend I just made last year. I'm talking to my mother. See, now the problem is they think because it is my mom, she's going to always have my side. And so that's what they always think, right? And that's not the case. I can tell you right now, my mom is not that way. My mom's very fair. If she sees it this way, she sees it this way. And she's a person too. She has her own thoughts and views also. But what I can say is my mom is biased for the most part. She is biased, but you also have to understand I'm still her child as well. And for anybody to tell me that they're not in the end gonna support or take up for their family is a liar. And you can't tell me different. Even though you may disagree with them, you're still gonna have their back. Let's say, for instance, y'all were out in the street or whatever, and you were with your, I don't know, let's say you were with your sister, right? And your sister picked a fight. You knew she was wrong. Your sister picked the fight and you knew she was wrong. Now she's in this fight, right, with some random person in the street, and then another person comes along to jump on your sister. Are you just gonna stand there and be like, no, you were wrong, so you should take that butt whooping? No, you're not. You're gonna help your sister fight these other two people who she started the fight with. But when she gets home later, you're gonna say, now you know you were wrong. You put me in a bad situation, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you're gonna have to say, right? So for anybody to sit here and tell me that that they're not gonna in the end take up for the family is a liar, and I refuse to believe that. So it's been a problem for me talking to my mom about things, someone who's lived life and knows a lot more than I do and has my best interest at heart is gonna tell me straight up, right? And that knows me, gonna tell me straight up. So my mom was one of the people I would talk to. Now I have a couple other people I could talk to too, even, but that's even a problem. But I know why it's a problem for certain people, because when I relay some of these things that I've been told, you know, I ruffle some feathers. Maybe I ruffle some feathers because these people told me something in a different light that I wasn't thinking about. Like, oh, that makes sense. Then I relay this, then it's more of a problem. And now I can't talk to them people anymore because maybe they're telling me something right. That's just what I think it is. So um, you know, that's crazy. They're gone too. I've been homeless before. And I'm sorry to hear that. But we've I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't wish that on nobody. I really don't. I don't want nobody to be homeless. Um, it's just sad, man. That's sad. That's sad, man. Um, you know, I'm glad you got up out of that though. However you did, I'm glad you got up out of that light bright. I was able to find a way out. Um, I'm kind of at a loss for words. That is, I hate to see homeless people. I wish I had enough money to like build like shelters and build like apartment complexes and be like, here's the keys. This is your home. You don't have to pay any rent or anything like that. All you have to do is live here. All the utilities are paid for the rest of your life as long as you're in this place. You don't have to do anything. I wish I had the money to do that. I would definitely do that. You know, yeah. Oh man, you're writing, and I'm way at the top. You said I will not apologize unless I mean it. I got you. I totally agree. I'm not gonna apologize unless I mean it. I got you. I got you. And that may even make somebody mad. They may be looking for an apology. Like, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to mean it. I don't really think I did anything wrong, or I'm not going to mean it. But the fact that you say I'm not going to apologize because I don't mean it means that you mean it's also like I'm not finna lie to you because I respect you and care for you too much. I'm not finna mean that. So I'm not going to apologize. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. That's how I'm taking it. I'm not finna just lie to you right now so you can feel good right now. And I'm giving you a false sense of something, a false sense of not hope, but giving you this false thing, this lie. I'm giving it to you. It's crazy. My cousin said we'd rather be lied to so we could feel good than told the truth. People want to be lied to. They're tired of hearing the truth and hurting, all because of hurt. It's crazy, but I understand that. Um, he said, I like him. I'm assuming you're talking about Kirk Franklin. It's important not to be nasty and jump to judgment um, conclusions. Right. That's right. Exactly. Right. Thank you. Like, he's human. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they expect, I mean, what I'm gonna do a pod on this. I really am. I don't know what I'm gonna title it. It's probably gonna be something like, what do you want? What do y'all want from us? What do y'all want from us? If we live right, y'all gonna say, oh, they think they're better than everyone else. And then if we claim to live right and mess up once or twice, you're gonna say, I knew you weren't who you said you were. I knew you were blah 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 blah. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? And then I go crazy and do the same things you do, but then I'm wrong for it. And I am wrong for it because I know I'm wrong for it. But you had this coming. This is what you wanted to see, right? You kept pushing my buttons. This is what you wanted to see. Now I'm wrong. Now I'm just like you, and you're not going to ever let me forget it. Now, oh, remember that time you did this? Yeah. What about that? Yeah. What about now, though? I've moved on from that. I acknowledged the wrong that I did, and I moved on from that. But you're still back there. You're trying to hold this cloud over my head. You're trying to hold this over me. I'm not going to let you do it. And if you want to continue to do that, then I will just completely separate myself from you. I thought I was in the first place, but I see I need to do a better job of getting away from you. Um, if we weren't human, then how could we emphasize or relate to or have companion? I'm sorry, compassion for others. Right. Exactly. I like that. And there are so many people. There's so many people's seasoned saints that are not always 100% on the time. They're saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. Thank you. Yeah, it's people that's been sanctified or whatever you want to say, holy for a long time. And I can think of some examples right now. As long as I've known, my grandma has always been in church and always been, and she's still there. But I'll tell you what, my grandma was flat out, um, flat out, man, I've seen it. And my granddad, I've seen it. I've seen it. But it gets to that point though. And it should get to a point to where you voice your opinion, you say something, or I'm not I'm saying I mean everything done within in reason, everything done the right way, but you just can't not always you just can't allow a lot of things to go on without saying something or doing something. But I understand though, and yes, you're right. I've seen it. 100%. They're 100% this, but they'll show you the other side real quick. Let's be real. Exactly. Let's be real. Being homeless taught me things. Okay. Okay. Human and hypocrite. What do you want? That's a pretty good title. That'll be a pretty good title. Human or hypocrite. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do the pod. It's gonna be called Human or Hypocrite, thanks to Light Bright, and I will definitely put that in the description. Thanks to Light Bright. The title of this show is Human or Hypocrite. Let's talk about it. Blah blah. I don't know, but I really do appreciate you for saying that. I actually might do that pod later today while I'm on the road to Texas. Who knows? But what you said, not my mom. Your mom's not gonna take sides. Oh man, but yeah, man. Apologies, um, people being hypocrite, being human. So you don't have to name me, no need. Well, it's already in the air. Plus, I'm finna publish this pod today too, so it's gonna be on there. But but yeah, man, yeah. Those are just my thoughts for the day, man. Those are just my thoughts. Um, I hope whoever's listening to this, Light Bright, and whoever might hear this afterwards once I publish it, well, have listened and maybe have learned something of could do something different when it comes to apologies and in their lives, or just how they approach people or people that are coming to them with an issue, and not try to flip the situation and not try to make them look like the bad person or remind them of what they did when they already may have acknowledged that to you, but you can't give them the same respect when it's done, when it's in reverse. You already now you're feeling guilty about it. You already feel guilty about it, and I'm not, but you have to understand this is this person's first time bringing it back to you or bringing it to you. Obviously, it's been hurting them too. So hear them out, hear what they got to say, and let's both agree after this moment we're done with this situation if it can be resolved. If it can't be resolved from one other party, then maybe y'all need to go your separate ways. Then it can't be resolved, and that may be the deal breaker, because I don't think you should stay in any relationship, friend or intimate relationship with, or not intimate, but your spouse or anything like that. I can't say spouse. I'm sorry. Just your friends or any relationship. If y'all can't agree, two people can't walk together unless they agree. You can even to the point maybe agree to disagree, but I think at some point it needs to be addressed and it needs to be resolved in some kind of way. But if it's someone that's just on the house, someone you're not really tied to, and it can't be resolved, and you can separate, you can get away from that person. The reason why I said I couldn't say spouse, because it's not going to be that easy. From what I believe, from my readings, it's not supposed to be that easy for spouses just to separate. It's not supposed to be that easy. You're in a bond, you're in a life commitment to where anything's going on, we're going to fix it before the sun sets. I don't care what it is. I don't care what happened. We're going to fix it before the sunset. you know, unless like it said, unless it's infidelity or something like that, then that's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother ball. I'm not saying you can't fix it, but you do have that right now to maybe walk away from the situation, to walk away from that person. And of course, death. But that was almost like involuntary. So, but I appreciate you, Light Bright, for sticking in with your boy this far. You appreciate how I operate with purpose. I try to. That's the whole thing, man. We can't just be going through life and just going. It's got to be with a purpose. It has to be more to it, man. And if life, if anything, if there's anything life taught me, it's that we're not just here. And my father told me this a lot. You know, you're not. We're not supposed to just be living. We're supposed to be living with a purpose. We have a meaning. We have a purpose. You know, and everything you do should be towards something, so for a purpose, for a purpose. I'm teaching my son that when he's playing basketball, I'm telling he loves to dribble and go between the legs and behind the back and cross over and spin around and do jelly layups, jellies, whatever he calls them. I'm like, why did you do that? Oh, because it looked good. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, but what was the purpose of that? Like, you didn't have to do that. You could have just did an easy layup. Like, there's no need. Like, now I could see if the person was right there and you had to switch over and do like a reverse behind the hand, behind, layup on the opposite end because you're trying to avoid the foul. But if there's nobody in front of you, you're not being challenged or anything, just lay the ball up. Easy bucket. You at risk when you have to get in the air and contort your body to put the ball in the hole. You're more the shot percentage just went up. It just went up. Why did you go between your legs right then? Oh, because it looked good, but you didn't have to do that. The percentage of you dribbling that ball and catching the other hand, the percentage just went up of you not of you losing, committing a turnover. If you go between the legs to do a crossover, if the person is on the ball side and they're coming, you cross over, and if you're not able to cross over in front of you, the other option is you can go between your leg. That's why you do everything with the purpose. Everything with the purpose. So I'm teaching him the same thing. Um, um, there should be a shared vision. That's right. That house for marriage too. Um, okay. The man should have a vision for his house. Right. Right. The man should have a vision for his house. Right. I understand that. Um, just last night, I sat down and wrote down my goals to put on my new vision board, and that's cool. And that's cool. What's up, PBG? That's cool. A lot of times we have to write things out, and I'm very bad at doing that. But I learned in school that when you write things out and you see it, it's like it's holding you accountable to it because you see it. Because we tend to forget things. I know I do on a daily. I could hardly tell you what I did yesterday. Some people can recall and retain things so quickly in their mind, but I can't tell you what I did yesterday. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't know if I have some kind of mental something going on in my head because I really have a hard time remembering things. My son could be asking me something and he's like, Dad, you don't remember it. This was just yesterday. Like, oh, wow, I'm sorry, son. I honestly don't remember. Um, I think I've trained myself to forget things. And I think it started back in t- early 2000s, and I'm not going to get deep into it, but I think it was because of a lot of things that I was going through and I didn't want to remember, and I didn't drink, I didn't smoke or anything like that. So I just had to find ways to make myself forget things. I don't know. I would indulge in other things, like nothing crazy. I was always playing the video games. I was always, um, that's probably the main thing I think of. I was always like playing video games. Um, I was always at work or something. I wouldn't mind pulling a double or something because I knew if I was at work and busy, I wouldn't have time to think about other things. So and then I kind of um, got to the point to where I like it's like I made myself forget what was going on, and the bad thing about that was I was making myself forget the important things as well too, because of the bad things, and now it's to the point to where I can only remember like big things or things that's important, and a lot of those and things that have really scarred me. I only seem to be always remembering those things, and I don't know if I'm supposed to deal with those things right now or if I'm supposed to. Um, I don't know why I'm remembering these things. I don't know why. And that's something I'm doing, soul searching and trying to understand right now why I'm only remembering certain things. I'm not saying I can't remember good things either, but I'm always remembering quote unquote bad things before anything, and they stay on my mind all the time. Um, and I could forget the most simplest thing. Oh, I missed my appointment last week, guys. I had an appointment last week for the VA hospital that I was supposed to do to do my claims and all that. And I totally forgot. And I was just a mile down the road from it. I got off work and I was supposed to go straight there. I remember getting off work, getting in my car and driving straight home. I wasn't thinking about anything. I went straight home. And that's all I remember. I can't tell you anything else I did that day. But I do remember calling. I do remember saying, "Oh, I had an appointment today." And this was like 6 hours later. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but I can't remember how I got on that, but I, oh, the goals you set down and write. So I said that to say, yes, it's good to write things down. You hold yourself accountable to it. What I try to do is put little notes in my phone so I can remember things. Um, but I very rarely do that. You know, I, I just remember big things now, maybe for a good reason because they're big things and probably needs to be dealt with in some kind of way or remembered for something. But little small things I'm gonna forget. I'm going to forget. I always forget a lot of people's names. I'm not saying that's a small thing, but I forget people's names a lot. If I don't see you on a daily, I'm gonna forget your name. If you tell me what your name is today and I don't see you for a week, I'm gonna forget your name. I'm not gonna forget your face, but I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, you're such and such, and then you're probably gonna look at me and be like, yeah, we hung out all day. But oh, okay, right, I got you. And I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's not that you're not important to me or anything like that. But I have a hard time remembering things. I even got to the point to where I was taking supplements for your brain to help remember things. Yeah, it got to that point. I'm like, I'm not old. And this was like just early mid 2000s. And I'm in my 30s, early 30s, late 20s. And I'm forgetting things like I have Alzheimer's or something, like an old person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on, man? But I know what it is. I know. Like I said, I think a lot of it is because of things I've gone through, and I don't want to remember. I don't want to remember. I want to forget a lot of things. But the fact that I'm not is what I'm questioning. Is God trying to tell me something about these things? It's what I ponder on a lot. So I see y'all. I'm sorry. I write almost everything down that is actually a sign or of her intelligence. Okay. It seems her brain is pushing things out to make room for new thoughts and memories. Okay. 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 That's okay. I was like, you said her. Maybe you talk about me. Okay. I got you. Yeah. And I also thought that I was like, does a brain have a limit, like a capacity, a weight capacity or something? Like, does a brain do that? I thought the brain was more complex than that, like very sophisticated. I can remember things when I was 5 years old right now, and some of those were good. I can remember the first time I tied my shoe. That wasn't a bad time. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess that time was just such an achievement to where just can't forget that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why I can't forget it. So I guess major achievements and seriously scarred things that have really messed with me. I guess those are the only things can't remember easily, but if I sit down and start thinking, things will come back like 100 miles an hour, like I've been doing here. I've been sitting down, been slowing down. Like I told you, I'm always trying to move, but at times I just can't move. But I'm sitting down and I start thinking, and everything just 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 starts rushing in. I'm talking about thoughts. Let's just say it was something I went through 10 years ago. Let's just say that, right? And let's say I remember certain details, but not everything. And let's just say now, if I sit down and that thought of 10 years ago comes in, it's going to be some more thoughts that come in with it. And it's going to bring back, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But it's like 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it just became refreshed. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just refreshed now. It's a fresh thing on my mind, and it's a new thing, but it's not a new thing. It's an old thing. That's what's been happening to me. Um, yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's a defense mechanism. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you said that. It could be definitely a defense mechanism because I don't want to go through that again. And if I and you know what? Now that you said that, that's probably what it is. Like, Bright, appreciate you. That's why I love y'all here. Y'all have so many different outlooks on things. It could be a defense mechanism, kind of like a red flag. Like, you've been through this before. You might want to not do this, or you might want to pay attention to this because this is, remember, this happened 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 15 years ago. You might want to pay attention so you don't make the same mistake. It could be that. I really appreciate you for saying that, like, Bright. He said I space out like that. He said those memories are powerful. They are very, very powerful. They are very, very. The mind is a powerful thing. You can do things like move your silverware to a different drawer or rearrange the apps on your phone to help you keep your brain sharp. That's what I do to help me out. Yeah, I understand that. I used to have a little game on my phone to where I play like a memory game or just mind games, and that's what I used to do. Um, what I do find myself doing more and more of is just cleaning. I'll be in the house cleaning. I'll just clean. I'll just clean. I might go for a walk or something. Um, it's starting to warm up. I might do more walking. I don't work out. Maybe I need to start working out, hitting the gym. You know what I'm saying? I may write a song. And that's another thing. I haven't even been really motivated to do what I love to do, and that's music. I haven't even been motivated to do that. It's just so much on my mind, man. It's just so much. It's just so much. You can work your brain kind of like a muscle. Brain training, play much word puzzles and helps too. Right, right. Exactly. Exactly. So, whew, I've talked for 58 minutes and 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. Like, Bright, I really want to appreciate you for hanging in here with me. It really means a lot. And I really mean that. It really means a lot. Um, um, you said, like, what? You need to unblock your crown chakra. Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember, yeah, the crown chakra. Yeah, I remember a movie with Tom Hanks, and it was called, and I'll be thinking about this movie a lot. It's called Joe's Volcano. And what happened at the beginning, you see a lot of people going to work to this factory, and the whole scene just looks dark and dreary, and they're all like walking like zombies to work. So Joe, played by Tom Hanks, knew something was wrong with his brain. Like, he couldn't function right. He was just like, oh, he's like, it's his job. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor did a brain scan and said, you have a mental fog. You have a mental fog. And he said it's really serious. If you don't get get a social life or anything, because all he did was go to work, go home, go to work, go home. And he was like, if you don't get out and do something, you're going to die. That's exactly what he told him. You're going to die. And he's like, whoa. So, and then that's when he goes, I think he goes to Hawaii and he meets the girl, and then he falls in love and all that stuff. And I think he winds up quitting the job and all that stuff. But I think about that movie. It's like a mental brain fog or something. And yeah, solar plexus. See, Brian, I don't really know much about all that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about the chakras and all that type of stuff. Maybe you could tell me more about it at another time. Um, solar, solar. Okay, I got you. But whatever it is, I know I need to unlock a lot of things, do a lot of things different. Meditation, okay, meditation is a good thing. Okay, I agree. I agree. Sitting and reflecting, and I got you. All right. Well, guy, like Bright, I'm about to get off this thing. I'm about to try to head out and get myself together so I can head out. Um, I will be safe. And thank you for all your words and help and encouragement and advice to things. I really do appreciate you, like Bright, and I for that I will definitely give you 2 cheers. That is the longest. They have the long. It's the longest cheer. But again, thank you. I really appreciate you. For everybody that's listening, thank you. This has been another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Truth. These have been my truths today, and I hope that when you think about yourself and your truths and you as a person, I pray that we will all try to be better people tomorrow than we were the day before. I love you. God bless.